Good evening, all you silly folk, and welcome to the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Tommy.
To all you Regs, welcome back to the podcast. To all you Shinies, welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast. In today's news, you must join the Discord, because we're having tons and tons of fun in the Discord all the time, every single day of the week.
Jolly good conversation
Jolly
in the
good
Discord.
conversations in the Discord. Quite nice, yes. And also, if you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed to the 1313 Podcast YouTube channel, because at 500 subscribers, we'll be giving away your choice of 212 Black Series or... Stop. Black Series. Captain Rex.
Whoa! It's 3D!
So, if you're subscribed to the 1313 podcast at 500 subscribers, you will have your choice of that figure or that figure. And also, if you're in our Patreon, you have a chance of winning this Ahsoka figure from The Mandalorian. Wow, look at that figure. So nice, so nice. So if you're in the Gungan Boss tier of our Patreon, you can win this figure.
1313 podcast giveaway figures are included with the shipping. Jars not included.
Jars not included.
Toenail clippings will be included in the box.
With scent.
You know who needs to clip their toes? Jacob, because he scratched me with his talons.
We're not.
No.
Dude, no. I'm just preparing for the new Jurassic World movie.
I got scratched
the
by...
Velociraptor was always my
Dude,
favorite.
Jacob scratched me with his grippers before we started recording today. And it drew blood, dude. I probably am going to get tetanus before this podcast ends
We're
tonight.
adding a new tier to the Patreon where I will fly exclusively to your home to scratch your back with my toes, and that will be worth
That's foul.
Jacob
Don't
is
give
gonna
the
come.
people what they want and stop talking about feet. For the love of God. I'm done with the feet.
So, guys, we do want to talk about our sponsor for this week's episode, Feet Finder. You can...
Here's a preview.
No, don't. No, put the dogs away. Okay, so,
Okay.
all right, guys, I have a would you rather.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, off the cranium, off the dome?
Off the dome, I
Okay,
do have,
okay.
off rip today. I'm freestyling. So, my would you rather today is, would you rather be a bounty hunter who is forced to have, a sidekick that is just really incredibly dumb?
Okay.
Or would you rather take your chances for every bounty that you go on, knowing that something is going to go wrong for every bounty that you go on, but you don't know what it is?
I'd rather have a really dumb sidekick, because I could just tell him to stay in the ship. I could just tell him, I'll be like, hey, I need you to file my taxes.
But you're like his training officer, so he needs to come with you on everything.
Well, I'll tell him just to stay behind me.
There you go. Or he could use... I would just use him as a meat shield, to be honest with you.
Dang.
I would just leave him.
I was going to say have something go wrong on every bounty, because think about it. What's the true definition of wrong? Maybe you're stepping in to sneakily sneak up on your bounty and you step on some Skittles. That's not terribly wrong. You can still off them immediately.
Yeah, but then you have stuff in your boot, and now you're just...
I can scrape it out later. It's worth the trouble rather than bringing around.
Listen, I'm a professional. I'm a professional bootlicker, okay? And I'll sit here.
The
And I like my
bootlicker.
leather pristine, okay? I don't like my leather to be having Skittles in the
My
treads. All
sandwich
right?
is a boot.
But yeah, so I would definitely pick, because at least if it's my partner doing something wrong, that's on them. You know,
Fair,
that's the
but
way
that
I
could
look at
also
it.
cost you your life.
Well, I'd rather die knowing it wasn't my fault than die knowing it was my own doing.
Well, I'd rather die knowing it was my fault than some idiot didn't screw me over.
Yeah.
Die on my own terms.
If you had a sidekick as a bounty hunter, who would you have your sidekick be? It has to be someone that doesn't have a lot of experience. It can't be like
Max
Jango
Rebo.
Fett or Embo or, you know.
Max Rebo.
Jackson Rabbit.
He's got experience
Not that much.
that you know of. You haven't read the comics.
I'm going to have a twofer.
Oh, a twofer? Wow.
Trace and Rafa.
In that case, if we're doing twofers, I'm having Tag and Bink.
Ooh,
pretty
dynamic
neat.
duo.
I'm still going with my answer.
Because that's the thing. They are dumb. They do everything wrong, but in the end, it works out.
It's fair.
Absolutely true.
It's fair.
Let us know who you would have as your sidekick and whether or not you would rather die of your own hands and die of someone else's hands.
Yeah.
What
really
that?
wasn't that funny.
Yeah. So everybody, there's another new episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi
What?
that came out this week. How are y'all feeling?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It was
So guys,
good.
I just need to be honest with you
It was
before we
good.
begin. Obi-Wan has completely left me heartbroken because this episode just made me realize, like,
The whole
I've
show
just been
is
telling myself the show is good up to this point when it was just really mid, because we haven't seen any Clone Wars
Dude,
flashbacks.
there's no Mace
There's no
Windu.
Darth Maul. There's no Mace
The
Windu.
next Mace
like,
I
Windu.
hate the unrealistic
There's no
expectations.
Cad Bane.
Mhm.
Like, all I want is like the entire show to be a Clone Wars flashback that has nothing to do with the narrative of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No. Let me pull this
But
up.
when the flashbacks were in Book of Boba, I didn't like them. But I would.
But yeah, but flashbacks were bad in Book of Boba Fett.
But I want them here.
But
Let
I
me
need
get
them in
this.
this show because I need to see the Clone Wars.
I was like,
Okay. I want to state this really quick. So I had a buddy who's also watching all these shows as well. It's
Because even though the Clone
sorry.
Wars has already been told in every aspect right now with Obi-Wan, we've literally seen everything he's done in the 3-year time. I need to see another flashback of him in the armor.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's fine.
I was just adding to the thing.
Okay, no, so my buddy had sent me something by Mill Meme page because he's also watching the show with me right now. He's kind of like a newbie to Star Wars and whatnot. So he sends me this thing of like Qui-Gon like cringing essentially. It says Dave Filoni watching this plot hole filled dumpster fire called Kenobi. So he texts me too and he said, "What are the plot holes?" And I go, literally nothing.
you want to
And
know the only
the funny
plot
part
hole?
is the dude's page, like his Instagram, you can't even comment on the post because it's limited to his like closest friends.
You want to know the only plot hole that's in Kenobi is the fact that there's that transmission in episode 4 where Leia's like doesn't act like she knows who Obi-Wan is. That is the only thing that you could consider to be a plot hole in this entire show.
Dude, the show's not over yet.
It's literally, it's not over. It's not wrong. I'm just seeing this. It's like what you were just like joking about your complaints. It's this gigantic broad scope of people complaining about the show because of the unreal expectations we talked about months ahead that they're going to create for this. And that's exactly what we're seeing now.
All right, let's talk about the episode and then we'll get back on our soapbox.
Yep. That's
So-
fine with me.
I've only seen this episode, I think 3 times.
I saw it twice.
Twice.
So the first time I watched it, I talked to Jacob the day it came out. I'm going to be completely real with you.
We both said it was mid.
I didn't think it was mid per se. I just wasn't crazy about the episode.
I love
Partially, I think that was
Personally.
because I was just coming off of the 3rd episode, which was fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
And
good.
like could have been something all on its own.
Mhm.
And then I also was upset that the episode was shorter than the other episodes.
Yeah.
I want more,
The
and that's a good thing that
The
I
only
want
reason
more.
why I said it was mid was because one, it was shorter. It felt like the episode was rushed in the story that it had. And I'm just gonna say it. There's no excuse for Leia in the trench coat of that being a genuinely good idea.
I
That
thought it
worked
was
as-
hilarious.
No, standing alone, it's hilarious. But you look at it and go, "Ain't no dang way that would have worked."
All
But
right, dude.
also,
What would-
but
I'm
also-
gonna
but
try
also-
to
but also-
justify it later.
No,
I will.
I'm just justify it right now. It's fiction, so it doesn't matter.
It's fiction, but
Yes.
also the entire Inquisitorius is on high alert. So everyone in Imperial uniform is running around, going to their station, figuring out what they need to do because it's not every day that Fortress Inquisitorius is getting infiltrated.
The
And
second
they're
time.
expecting Obi-Wan Kenobi to be dressed like a Jedi because there were stormtroopers who saw him in his Jedi robes.
Yep.
So they're not really paying too much attention to a couple of officers walking down the hall.
They're not
That
looking
is
for
my
Officer
justification.
Toomer. They're not looking for Officer.
Also,
Toomer.
though, Obi-Wan is the only Imperial officer in the whole building to have a beard.
yeah.
That's
But
kind of funny.
then I bring it into like psychology. It's like, just real quick, it's like,
Yeah.
When people see things and they're like panicking and stuff like that, you don't remember details as well as you do if you're completely calm and you know,
Yep.
are open to seeing like fine details like that.
Mhm.
So most officers are probably just rushing by him going to their station and stuff.
We'll talk about it more too.
But yeah,
when we get
so
to it. So-
episode opens again, obviously right where the last one left off. We get a nice little I like this opening scene, like where it's like just like in the last episode where we had Obi-Wan like thinking about Vader and you
Mhm.
see Vader getting put together. Now you see Vader in the Bacta and Obi-Wan in the Bacta at the same time, and Obi-Wan is getting like healed from his wounds, and you see Vader going through. I would say that you see Vader going in, like he's in pain from
Yeah.
like healing and from his wounds. So like Obi-Wan is feeling Vader's pain physically for the first time.
I think it's interesting as well with that because this might be a confirmation that they can sense each other's presence in the Force constantly, like how Rey and Kylo could. I think that's a little nice comparison to the sequels and how they see each other. So I feel like in these brief scenes that we get, Obi and Annie do see each other because Obi-Wan has reconnected now with the Force.
I don't think they're seeing each other because the only reason why we saw that with Rey and Kylo is because of their
Their dads. That is
I think
true.
they're feeling each other now.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That
It's
is
because Obi-Wan has closed himself off from the Force for so long. Now that he's back open to it, he can feel the flow of the Force, and now the fact that it's so limited just between the amount of people that are currently using it, and the fact that Vader is he's like a satellite of it. He's projecting that signal.
Vader is such a hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking, Vader is quite a large satellite of the dark side of the Force. So, other than
Essentially, we are looking at
other than Palpatine, nobody else is radiating the dark side of the Force at this moment in time. So it's very possible that we could see Obi-Wan feeling him through the Force.
So
from very far away.
We get that scene, but I thought it was a really good sequence. I thought it was, dude, we gotta oil this chair. We
We do have to oil it.
Why?
Dude, please stop.
That's gonna get annoying for the audio listeners.
I
Go on YouTube.
And for them.
Anyways.
I love you, audio listeners.
I like that sequence, but then we get right into Obi-Wan gets out, he wakes up, he gets out of the Bacta, and he figures out from Tala that Leia is not with them because she is at the Inquisitorius.
We get the best cameo in the show. We get Ice Cube's kid.
Yeah.
Rokan? Rokan, I think that's his name.
My wife was a Jedi until she was a dad.
I thought that was cool though.
I knew what my wife was, and I accepted it. And the Inquisitors found her anyway. I said, dang, bro. Not good acting. The show really wanted me to the writers really wanted me to care about these characters. But I didn't care about them at all because I just met them and I didn't even know their names. Yep. I could see that they were sad that Wade at the end, the one guy, died, but I just didn't care.
Yeah. I said
Wade!
I said
Wade, come on, Wade! Wade!
Boom.
It was like
I didn't
care.
It didn't establish enough connection to begin with, and
it felt very rushed, honestly. Like I get it. It was rushed though, because like they just got there on Jabim. There's no time for introductions. Like Obi-Wan needs to go save Leia now. And so I get the urgency. And I know that we're probably going to see more of these characters in the next couple episodes. But anyway, so we get this whole thing. Rokan's like, he needs to get out of here. The Empire's going to come and find us and, find us out and ruin the path if Obi-Wan stays here. And Obi-Wan's like, dude, I'm not trying to stay here. I want to get out.
Yeah.
You got to help me. And he's like, no. And then he's like, yes. And then they make a plan to go to the Inquisitorius. And no one wants to go with Obi-Wan. Tala decides that she'll go with him because she is an undercover officer, and it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I think it's cool.
They're on the ship, and we see Obi-Wan trying to use the Force. This is another moment where we see how weak Obi-Wan is with the Force. It's a tiny little object, and he's trying to focus, and he just can't bring it to him. Something that in the prequels would have been
easy.
Like he could do it with his pinky toe.
Yeah, but you also have to think that he's also really distracted at the fact that Vader still exists. So not only is he trying to because we see that with the meditation in the last episode. He has it's internal conflict.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, that's another thing I'm disliking as well, because I see a lot of people saying, well, this sucks because Obi-Wan's not powerful like he was in the Clone Wars. But again, it's like you said, dude closed himself off from the Force. It's like the chick that we see in Jedi Fallen Order who completely shuts herself off from the Force so she can't use it.
And then she gets yoinked by Vader in 3 seconds.
Yes. But then you would think about it like a skill. If you're not doing it every day, it's not going to be developed. So you need to redo it. Like same with the lightsaber fighting. That's why Obi-Wan is like slowly but surely like getting back into it because he understands what he needs to do.
It is like muscle memory where, he can get back into it pretty quickly, but there's a difference between him deflecting blaster bolts from seeker droids and stormtroopers and him finding out that it is in fact his old apprentice that he's seeing face to face for the first time, trying to kill him.
Exactly.
There's a huge difference mentally in those two scenarios.
And also in the filming aspect of everything, you also have to remember one for the battles that Obi-Wan did, lightsaber to lightsaber, years ago. It was hours upon hours upon hours of retakes and like practicing. They probably didn't have the time to do that with this one. Also, when you're seeing people that Obi-Wan's fighting against, it's all physical people now. That's the one thing I noticed to myself, because that's the one thing in the prequels. It always feels like the lightsaber is going to where it needs to go because the Force is guiding it. But in reality, it's because they're swinging at nothing. And there's nothing there to stop it. And they're just swinging at nothing because it was all CG. Whereas this, he's like actually hitting stuff. So
I agree. Yeah, because you have to hit it at somebody, you know?
You can't go through a physical
you can't,
person.
yeah, because if you follow through, then it goes down.
The biggest example of that was in the room with Leia when there was the two stormtroopers, and he double tapped the stormtrooper and went ding, ding, the same place twice.
Yep.
So, Obi-Wan gets to the Inquisitorius, and Tala goes in first. She lands, she goes through, and she meets with the security officer who gives her big ones about getting into the high security area, and she looks like she's gonna panic at first, and then she tells him, like, she just basically like
goes off on
cusses him out. She's like, yeah, dude, listen, like, I'm the commanding officer, I have classified information, how dare you come in. And I'm gonna be honest, like, the first time I watched it, I was like, that was pretty cool. That was actually something cool.
See, I thought she screwed up though when she said the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah,
because
we were watching it, and she goes, "Do you want me to inform the Grand Inquisitor of your insolence?" And Jackson just goes,
because
and I just looked at him. I was like, "Bro, what?"
Because I thought everybody knew that the Grand Inquisitor was like gone because he was stabbed, but clearly that information isn't available to anyone to begin with.
He's just still alive.
Well, yeah, we know he's alive for sure, but like I had thought that would just be like the Imperial officer hierarchy would have known that, so that would have been like, boom, dead giveaway, mission failed. But it wasn't, so I was like, okay, that makes sense.
It was a good scene. I was like, that was actually really smart of her. I like that she's actually a cunning character and not just like sneaking around and just boinking everybody on the head that comes up.
We do have to talk about when she's by two stormtroopers and she knocks them out.
Okay, dude, I'm going to defend that because the second time I watched... No, listen, you got to hear me out because the second time I watched the episode, I watched it and it actually makes some sense. So what happens, we'll get there, but this is the same, it's going to be like the same thing where, Cara Dune elbowed the stormtroopers in the faces. That was so dumb.
Well, no, the only thing that's different about this was the second stormtrooper makes sense. The first stormtrooper does not, because she open hand just... And then he goes.
I don't know if you've ever worn a helmet and been smacked in the face when you wear a helmet. It does not feel good.
But it's not going to knock you out.
It didn't knock him out.
If you hit someone.
She pushed him out of the way. She grabs the second stormtrooper under the helmet and pulls him in. And then she grabs the blaster and shoots both of them.
I'm with Tommy on this.
No one ever got knocked out. No one ever hit the ground.
And that
because he gets pushed back and then she whips it out and goes...
Yeah.
I was going to say the only one that didn't make sense was actually grabbing him under here. I was like, oh, that's a cool thing because we've never seen anybody yoink him like that.
No, she just pushed the one out of the way and then grabbed the second guy's blaster and shot them both.
In that case, it's fine. I didn't... Because granted, I watched it twice on Wednesday and it's Friday now. So I haven't seen it.
I watched it today and Wednesday. I think Thursday too.
Both Wednesday.
Anyways, so we get into... She gets into the security office, which is in a nice little aquarium room. And I do love the fish. The aquatic creatures are cool.
I like the lightsabers that are all around it.
Yeah.
Yes, the lightsabers, and then there's a youngling helmet, like a youngling's training helmet. She opens up a hatch for Obi-Wan to get in. Obi-Wan drowns a stormtrooper.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, Obi-Wan drowns a stormtrooper.
I think that...
And I have something to say on that.
I think it just looks like the same hatch. It's definitely not the same hatch in Jedi Fallen Order, though, because
we saw in that scene there are 3 hatches all next to each other.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's not the same one because the door looks incredibly different in Jedi Fallen Order. I was kind of hoping that it was going to look the exact same when we saw it. I would have been like, that's really cool. And also, the Fortress Inquisitorius has, like, a gaping hole that they need to fill.
Mm-hmm. So on the Obi-Wan obviously coming out of the water, something that I thought that was everybody was complaining about the fact that he was dry. He wasn't sopping wet, blah, blah, blah.
Who cares, bro?
Wait, when Mark Hamill was on Jimmy Kimmel a long time ago talking about shooting the original trilogy, he said how that before they had shot the trash compactor scene, they shot the scene of them escaping it. And he was talking to one of the people and just being like, hey, shouldn't we be sopping wet? And the guy was like, buddy, they shouldn't be looking... Well, sorry. Harrison Ford was saying that they shouldn't be worried about like how your hair looks to begin with. It's not that kind of movie. Star Wars has never existed to be that realistic.
It's not sci-fi.
Not that
It's not
serious.
sci-fi.
So if you're going to complain about how the hair of the actor looks in a scene, I feel like you are going beyond lengths of nitpicking.
You're looking for things to complain
for
about.
a reason to say Kenobi is bad when it is not. That's all I'm
and
going
the
to
thing
say.
that Harrison Ford said, he was making fun of Mark Hamill because he was like, if people were looking at your hair, we're in big trouble.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and so I do have to say though, Obi-Wan in these Jedi robes looks awesome. They're
Yeah.
darker
Yes.
than any of the robes that he's ever worn.
I like that.
I like that they're darker.
I want a figure of it.
I
please.
need it. We're gonna get it. It's
It's literally just gonna be a repaint of that.
But dark.
probably a little darker, yeah.
Yeah.
But I love
But I
the
need
look. I like the longer hair with the beard.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about it's great. But so we get in, and then Tala gets found out by an Imperial officer. She goes, I think she kills
I'm
him.
gonna be right
Yeah.
back.
She definitely kills him.
Yeah.
Which is
But
a little silly in my opinion that she's like this next to everybody else, and it's like,
It's like,
bro, they can
Guys,
hear you.
I'm in, and they're all like,
it's so funny. The officer just, oh, what? This lady talking to herself. I think maybe he snitched or something like that. You know,
Probably.
we got a lady on a comm. I've never seen her before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Obi-Wan goes around and he's searching around in the underbelly of the fortress, and there's he sees a seeker droid, which I think is cool. It just looks like a blown up version of the droid that Iden Versio has
Mm-hmm.
in
I
Battlefront
like how that
2.
looks. It looks pretty neat.
Yeah, and that Seventh Sister has a couple of them too.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the spider sister?
Where is she?
I want.
Where is she?
See her.
But then Tala makes a comment about what are they hiding down there? It's huge underwater. Like, what are they? And
Mhm.
Obi-Wan's like, I don't know. And he goes and he's looking around and he gets into this room where there's no windows on the doors. And he opens it up and we find out, lo and behold, that the Inquisitors are mint in box Jedi collectors.
Mint inbox Black Series TVC Jedi collectors only.
And it was cool because it wasn't just all Jedi. You saw people who were most definitely like Force sensitive, like
Mhm.
Rokan's wife was, that the Inquisitors just come and kill. And that's something that Tala mentions in the 3rd episode too, is that they go for kids, they go for anybody they find out is Force sensitive. They come, they take them, and now we know where they go. They kill them and they freeze them in this like almost like Jurassic Park.
Mhm. And that also explains as to why in Rebels they had Luminara and Dooley's body still just chilling.
I like that there was the
Yes.
continuity there though. Like
Yeah.
the orange color and everything matched up.
Mhm.
Yep.
I thought
So-
that was neat.
Very
We-
cool, very nice.
We see the one Jedi from the library episode who helps Ahsoka.
Terra Sinube.
Terra
It's the
Sinube.
first Jedi that we saw.
At least what we
Shout
think
out to
is
the
Terra
homie.
Sinube.
No, it is
It-
Terra
it
Sinube.
has
Did
to be.
somebody confirm
Because
it, or?
the hair is the same way. If you
Yes.
look at the shot, he has a beak. His robes are made the same
I'm
way.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
a
keep it
bird
buck
beak.
50.
It's like almost like a natural like thing that's for his aliens. It's not like a bird, Jacob.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep it a buck fit. I've like stared at that shot and I see teeth. I definitely see teeth. I just can't see a beak. So
it's
that's
also a live action interpretation
That's
of an
what I was
I
animated
know, but I'm just
character.
like I don't see, I personally don't see it.
The way I look at
I
it
see.
is they would not make a character that looks so similar to such a unique design in that's the only time we ever see a character like
Yep.
that and have it be the first one you see.
Mm-hmm.
That's something for Clone Wars fans, in my
Yep.
opinion.
I agree.
I don't know.
Because nobody else was recognizable.
Except for there was a youngling that he
Except
looks
for the
at. That
little
like
baby.
I'm gonna be
Little
honest with you,
baby.
between that and we've been
Yeah.
skipping over all the interrogation scenes that have been going on here, but
Yeah.
there's this
You're
whole
fine.
sequence between Leia and Reva, and I like that Leia uses all these different strategies to try to deflect
Mm-hmm.
Reva's techniques.
See, when I was watching the interrogation scenes for the first time, I didn't really like it. But the reason I didn't like it was the fact that Reva was like, I'm going to get this information out of basically a 10-year-old. And I was just kind of sitting there. I was like, really? It's a kid. Like, you're going to do all this to a freaking child?
Well, the
Yeah.
kid
It was just,
strong.
it was of poor taste in my opinion, but that's a personal.
Well, Reva was about her age
Oh,
when
exactly.
she was taken.
And probably had the exact same stuff
Yeah.
done to her.
I'm not saying that's a fault of the show.
Yeah, Reva is an immature character, and we see that a lot in this episode. We see that she had no reason to take that Jedi symbol from the safe house.
Yeah.
She had no reason to try to level with Leia on the fact that I was your age when everything was taken from me.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Her
I agree.
hate is what keeps her going.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think though the best thing within this entire episode was Leia saying, "Is this a staring contest?" Because that means staring contests are canon within the Star Wars universe, and people are having them.
So who talks first? You talk first.
I talk first.
I feel
I got the same vibe.
that confirms for me the fact that Leia's more force sensitive, and they're like trying to show.
Well,
it.
not just that, but she senses Ben, and she says Ben, and that the same way that she does to Luke in The Empire Strikes Back.
I did not catch that.
Yeah, there's I thought that was a really good. That just goes to show she is in fact force sensitive. Reva doesn't really pick up on it, but I was like, oh, that's so cool, like that they did something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, yes, no, ho, yes,
So,
bleh. And then another cool nod to the original trilogy. When those stormtroopers come down to Hall, when Tala takes out that Imperial officer and she gets back on the comm. Obi-Wan does the same thing that he does on the Death Star, where he uses the Force to make a sound in the distance, and the stormtroopers go check it out.
I saw as well that if you turn on the subtitles for that scene, the stormtroopers are complaining about the duty station they're at and that they want to be transferred somewhere else.
Really?
That's what, because that was what I watched the Screen Crush on these now, but it was something like that I didn't pick up. So I'm going to continue watching these to try to find more info to share for the show.
That's so cool.
But that was really funny.
But yeah, I like that there are these little nods that, again, like deep cut. You can call it fan service, I guess, but like it's a very deep cut. Most people who watch this aren't going to get little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know, like again, like the guy who looks like Tara Sinube, the Obi-Wan using the Force in that way, Leia reaching out in the Force and feeling like she did with Luke. It's little things that big Star Wars fans are going to get. But the casual viewer is not going to go, oh, it's obvious fan service. You know what I mean? So I like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude,
It's
Reva was really just going to put Leia in the torture machine, dude.
Yep.
I was like, dang, we really about to do
Dang.
this, right? I was actually nervous a little bit.
It was like the one Ray was in too.
I think it was between that and how, like, appalled I was the first time I watched it at the fact that the Inquisitors just took all these people and, like, do you realize, like, how disturbing that is?
Yeah.
That, like, they took a dead child, and just, like, froze them alive.
Cast him.
Yeah,
like a mosquito on a scepter.
They really just taxidermy these people, bro. Like it's actually pretty disturbing if you sit there and think about it, and it's underneath the Inquisitorius.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see Mace Windu, so it sucked.
Can we please shut up about Mace Windu
really-
forever?
I really wish that we
Please.
saw Mace Windu in the tomb, so that way people would stop being like, "Can Mace Windu come back now?" He ain't coming back. He ain't coming
What
back.
I think my favorite thing is about the complaints is, again, it's all the things that people were not complaining about Boba Fett that they're complaining about now. And it's so funny because it contradicts itself. There's people who are like, oh, the show's not even about Obi-Wan Kenobi and they're calling it Obi-Wan Kenobi. What a flop. But they're the same ones that are going, where's Mace Windu? Where's Captain Rex? Where's Commander Cody?
Yeah.
Where's this character and this character? It's like, you just complained that the show is not even about the character it's named after, and now you're asking where are all these characters that have nothing to do with the main character of the show.
I agree.
I saw a TikTok and a guy had a very good explanation to lots of people hating on Kenobi. Everybody who's complaining about it, they like PowerPoints. They like compilations. They want
Yep.
the best of the
The
best.
aha moments that they can react to on TikTok.
Yeah, they want
Yep,
they want
that's
the
literally
cameos and they want the big fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. They don't care about a story. They don't care about seeing something develop from point A to point B and getting all the bumps in the road that lead them to where they need to be. They just want the cool thing and
They want to
want
skip
it
to
now.
the end and watch the cool thing and be done.
They're
No,
the
they
same
want
people-
that 20-second clip where they can put it on TikTok and get 1 million views
These
where
are
they
the
go,
same people-
oh my gosh, oh.
These are the same people that refuse to go to the gym because it's too much work, but then complain about their physique.
That's facts.
Wow.
Oops, did I say that out loud?
It's the same thing, yeah.
Did you see there's this dude on TikTok, and this is really off topic, that was complaining about nerds at the gym, people that wear comic stuff and anime stuff at the gym, and now he was like, you guys are such losers, and now
his
they're
name is like Andrew Tate or something like that.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
found out actually he's joking in most of those
Oh.
clips, but people take it out of context
Mm.
and they try to make him look bad. But
I
most of the
saw-
time he's actually joking.
I saw that, and then I saw like there's just a large spree of people lifting now in the cosplay. Like I saw some people cosplaying as the Hashira from Demon Slayer
That's
and
funny.
Inosuke and lifting.
I think
More
that's
power
kinda
to you,
silly.
I guess.
They were jacked, so they can do it. So.
Listen, dude, most people that are huge into lifting are nerds.
Yeah.
Facts.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm. He ain't beating Goku.
He ain't beating
He ain't
Goku.
beating Goku.
Kenobi beating Goku.
He ain't
But-
beating Goku.
But yeah, so we get this sequence where Obi-Wan's like, Tala, I need you to make a distraction right now because Obi-Wan knows he can't mess with Reva and try to get Leia at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So Tala goes and does like, I never saw that coming. I thought she would just start shooting. Like, so anyway, I just started blasting.
Pow, 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 pow. Air it
So-
out.
But I thought she was going to do something like just blow something up or something
Yeah.
like that. But no, she goes and gets Reva. She has an officer go get Reva because she has important intelligence.
Yeah.
So then Reva has to stop the interrogation and she leaves. And then Obi-Wan shuts out the lights, kills the 2 stormtroopers.
And then we get
saves
Obi-Wan's
Leia.
hallway scene.
And then we get, which is, okay, dude, those purge troopers look sick.
They're kind of fire, but I want better shots of them.
Yeah,
I want-
shots
yeah.
in the-
Please give me
in the
more
dark.
accurate shots of what the armor looks like.
The more I look at them, the armor looks so much like First Order stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
I can't tell.
It's literally it's a
It's got
First
like
Order
a-
stormtrooper in black armor with a red visor.
Yep.
To me, all I can see is like a black wash. Like I really, for this, I need to like pause it.
Really?
I need to like
Yeah.
really look at
That's
this.
how I am with it too.
Because especially because our TV downstairs, the brightness is a little bit dim on it, so it's like they're not prominent. So I have to watch it on my phone and I have to hold it like this and be like to really be able to see it, which I haven't done yet. So yeah. There was one thing though that took me out of the ending of the hallway scene with Obi-Wan in the water started to come in. So I recently watched there's a game theory that came out with Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay.
The How Strong is Darth Vader. And it analyzed that part in Jedi Fallen Order at the end when the water comes through. So they analyzed the gravity of the planet that the Inquisitorius is on, and then the depth of where those hallways were, and to how much weight Darth Vader would be holding.
Can you say this
back.
in your Jacob Shapiro voice?
They analyzed how much weight of water Darth Vader would be holding back.
And essentially,
Nerd.
And essentially, the total in short came out to over a couple million pounds, weighed more than the Titanic, full of people and airplanes and boats and different cars and stuff combined. So the weight was absolutely fantastically massive when you did the actual calculation of it. So when I saw that, and then I saw Obi-Wan doing about the same thing in this show, it kind of took me out because I'm like, okay, well, you know, Obi-Wan is at a low spot in his ability to use the Force, and he's just not he's not where he's not where he's supposed to be yet. So he's not super strong yet. We see him struggling to use the Force on very small things early in this episode. So seeing this, it pulled me out just because I was and also. In all reality, it looked like it was kind of just ripped straight from Jedi Fallen Order.
I think
which
that it
a little bit
was
unoriginal to
I
me.
think it was the urgency that Obi-Wan knew because the stakes were so high and he cares about Leia and he needs to save Leia. He's using his emotions and it's helping him get back into the groove quicker of using the Force. We see that he's able, at first, he's just kind of like deflecting blaster bolts in any random direction,
Mm-hmm.
but then he's able to start doing what he did in the prequels, and he's able to start directing that blaster fire back at his target, or like at that switch for the door. He hits one at the switch, and
If you want to see that video, it's literally called How Strong is Darth Vader. It's by Game 3. Go check it out.
yeah. But I think that honestly, for me,
I'm
I
with Tommy on
didn't
that.
mind it because the glass is cracked, and as it's cracking more, he's struggling more. He's just trying to hold out until the stormtroopers come in so he can let it go.
I probably wouldn't have cared if I saw that video months ago, but it was probably the fact that I saw it the day before Kenobi came out, so it was so fresh in my mind, and
Okay.
also it also feels like an exact rip from Jedi Fallen Order to me. So I was just kind of like, this feels a little unoriginal. Oh well.
Well, you
Stings
see
in
it
Star Wars-
right.
Well, it's like poetry.
And this is the second time the Inquisitorium's ever been broken into.
And then it kind of ends in the same way.
But yeah, so
Come
Obi-Wan.
on, bro. Cal Kestis was there before. You think they would upgrade their glass?
I mean, I wouldn't be thinking many people would be swimming into my prison, bro. But
What happened once?
but yeah, so after that, Obi-Wan disguises himself in a trench coat as an Imperial Nazi officer, and
Two
then
kids in an overcoat.
and then
Two kids
Tala
in an
has her
overcoat getting candy.
disguise on still, and Obi-Wan's just hiding Leia in his jacket, and they're walking down the hall. We see the fifth brother and the fourth sister, Banana Girl,
Walk right past him.
walk
which is
right
really
past
funny.
them because he's so angry about the third sister.
Which leads me to my point as well. Everybody in that scene, think of American Psycho, Jacob, if you will. Everyone is so consumed about themselves and about everything that matters to them that they don't care about anything that anybody else is doing. So in that moment, fifth brother is so consumed by his rage of Riva, he doesn't care about anything any of these other people are doing as long as they get out of his way.
He's they're also behind him to the left, like a couple feet back. So he also was nowhere near their walking past. You
Sense
just
of the
also see
Force.
them.
But
If Vader could do it, so could he, if he cared enough.
But
exactly,
there's a big difference between Inquisitors and Sith and their ability to be in touch with the Force.
I do like Deborah Chow's directing is fantastic in this whole show.
Yeah.
I love every shot. It's good.
Mhm. I liked the return of the speeders.
Return of the Speeders.
Yeah.
The snow speeders.
Just because how, as we had learned, I'm going to kind of repeat a little bit of what was said on the Hava chat that we had, that if you did not watch that, check that out.
Check that out with Scott Solo. Shout out Sarlacc Digest.
It was a lot of fun.
That was cool.
But that those ships are intended to be tows. As
Toes.
Dude.
Did he just show the grippers
Yeah,
on camera?
We're done.
You're absolutely foul vagabond
You're
fiend.
awful.
Vagabond.
You are
You're
absolutely...
excommunicado
Dude, you're
from the podcast.
plebeian grippers, dude. Those are awful.
Bro, they clean.
I want to finish my
Dude.
point. How
I don't want to
in
hear.
Dude, they have a point to them, dude.
Dude,
Touch
I got
Them
Zabrak
suckers
toes.
are months old.
I got
You gotta clip
I got
those.
Zabrak toes, dog.
Dude, he got more horns on his toes than Darth Maul
I
has
got
on his
the
head.
mountain climbers, dog.
all right, we had learned in episode 5 about how those ships are not intended for winter weather, and how the reason they have the tow cable on the back, now that we know, I should say, is that they're meant to be tows for ships in general. So it was really cool, I guess, to see them and be used in another
It's weird
function.
the ships would need toes. They don't do much walking.
Did somebody say toes?
Stop with the beats!
I'm like Sandy with a boomstick. Did somebody say boom? Somebody say toes. Whip the grippers out.
And then stupid unnamed character who we just learned at the beginning of the episode dies, and the other chick gets really sad, and I go,
Wade. He's named. It's Wade.
boo-hoo, fella.
She only says it 17 times in a matter of 2 minutes.
And then frickin' the officer chick lady named for
Tala?
Tala. Yes, Tala's all like, well, I guess you're a soldier now. And I'm like, wow, whoopee.
Well, I guess you're soldiers now.
That's just something I didn't like. I was like,
I did like, though, that they didn't just get away. I thought it was cool for once to see them Riva thinks very quickly and just throws an explosive
yeah, I thought that was
at
funny.
one of the snow speeders. I thought that was
Why would
something...
they need explosives at a prison?
It obviously looked like
fuel.
a battery.
It was a fuel cell.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
battery fuel.
But again, I think it's nice, though, that, like, there was that oh no moment where they were actually like, Obi-Wan's like, how am I going to get out of this? I'm surrounded. I'm about to get gunned down. And then the snow speeders show up.
Mm-hmm.
But then they get away, and then we get a nice scene where Vader, again,
Yes.
every time Vader is on screen in this show, it is perfect.
It's
He comes
so
in, and
good.
he is literally about to kill Riva right then and there.
And then she's like, I put a tracker on the ship. And then he's like, oh, you ain't as dumb as I thought. So she's allowed.
mistakes.
She's permitted to live for 2 more episodes.
For the span of 2 more episodes.
She will die before the show ends.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she will die.
Yeah, because why isn't she in Rebels then? And why is the Grand Inquisitor back?
I'm still going to hold to it that the Grand Inquisitor is the one that kills her.
That would be cool to see him come back in the last episode. No, but again, like you said, Vader's just so awesome and powerful in that scene as well. He's
Vader's
so
my favorite
intimidating.
part of the show.
I like how Riva cuts off the fifth brother and goes, Kenobi is the only thing that matters now. And Vader's like, he doesn't like that she thinks she's in control. So he
Mhm.
just gets right up in her face and is like, if there are any mistakes,
Yeah.
even if we catch Obi-Wan, you're dead.
Yep.
Like,
Love it. Hayden's role. Mwah.
but I thought it was awesome. And then we get a nice little scene where you see Tala is trying to console this other lady who her name escapes me because Wade died.
Wham! Wham! Some call a whambulance. I don't really care at all, bro.
But yeah, and then we see Leia has a little moment with Obi-Wan.
I thought that was really cute.
I did think that was nice. Nice little father-daughter relationship. I can just only imagine how this feels for Obi-Wan, knowing that this is Anakin's daughter. Like, that's got to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Are you my real dad?
It's
also,
like,
you gotta think, Obi-Wan is the first man Leia saw when she was born, so it's kind of natural that you would make that connection of like,
I think it's been established now that when
Are
that
you my
force
dad?
sensitive people remember glimpses of their birth. I think
that
that's
Yeah.
established now without being said explicitly.
I saw a baby. A baby. Yes.
baby.
I think I had a brother. I don't know.
Father's hands.
Oh, so I saw this big
Oh.
thing in Legends where Owen Lars is supposed to be Obi-Wan's brother.
No, so my dad
What?
brought this up to me. That's not Legends. That's in the original script of A New Hope. Owen Lars
No, it's
is
in the novelization of
the
A New Hope.
novelization of A New Hope.
It's-
Owen Lars is so upset with Luke leaving and Obi-Wan trying to take Luke from Tatooine because Obi-Wan is the older brother who had the Force and was able to go have adventures, and Owen Lars was always stuck on Tatooine.
Mhm.
And so because
Oh.
of that,
Mhm.
that Owen doesn't want Luke to
Do the same.
do the same thing. So he holds him back basically.
interesting.
Yeah,
So-
I thought that was cool.
Because
My
my
dad
dad
brought
did
that up
mention
to
he
me.
he thought he had a brother as well.
Yeah. So I feel like that I don't because that's just in a script and then it's in a novelization that's not considered canon.
Yeah, it's not.
So
Yeah.
I feel like it would be really cool if somehow it did become canon. But
It would be dope.
Mm.
It'd be super
That would be
cool.
there was that, and then there was another thing from a canon novel that I read a blip of that I felt was pretty cool that I'll just mention now. It relates to the shadow of the dark side in the prequels when Yoda's
Okay.
like it clouds everything.
Oh, I think
So-
I know what you're gonna
So
say.
apparently, the Jedi Temple was built on the ruins of an old Sith.
I
like,
had saw that. Yeah.
like a Sith temple. But before the Jedi Temple was constructed, it was cleansed and it was turned back to the light. But when the war started and everybody was hustling and bustling, Sidious went back down and reignited the dark side within the temple. So that gave it that cloud of around the Jedi Temple to cloud their vision.
So technically, again,
He turned the faucet on.
that's Legends technically, but
I heard it was canon.
no, it's not canon actually.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because we've never known anything else about the temple. The best explanation that we have is that Sidious is able just to hide his presence because
guess
we
what?
know Jedi can do that.
Canon can be whatever you want it to
That
be.
is true.
Because to some people, only the first 6 movies are canon. To some people, only the first 3 movies are canon. So
It is
whatever
what
it is,
is.
whatever you want. We just go off whatever Disney puts out.
I thought it was in a canon book, though. I swear it was.
I don't think so. Maybe.
If
Well,
you
we
know
know at
if
this
it was
point
in a
the
canon
books
book or
are.
not, please leave a comment and let us know.
Yeah. But hey, so I like that this episode tied up the loose ends on the Leia thing. I thought
that's
for
what we kept
sure
talking
that the
about.
Leia getting captured was going to run at least 2 episodes.
I thought there was going to be a prep episode,
Yep,
a
and
part
then-
1 and 2 of the execution, then, which I really didn't want.
And I like now that we're going to have this big battle on Jabeam.
yes,
And I like
I
that.
know it's going to be on Jabim.
it could be.
I hope it's going to be on Mustafar.
I
I hope
would,
we see Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader on
Dude.
Mustafar. Because we've never seen it before.
and I want to see Newt Gunray come back and Poggle the Lesser.
And just when Obi-Wan's about to lose to Darth Vader, Mace Windu comes out of nowhere and goes, "Mouth." And then cuts
I'm sick of
Did
it.
you know that engraved on Mace Windu's
Yeah.
lightsaber hilt?
BMF.
BMF. Bad Mohecca.
BAMF.
But yeah, so I like that this episode, even though it was short, it tied up the loose ends. So now we can really hopefully focus in the next 2 episodes on Vader and Obi-Wan.
Mhm.
That's what I want to focus on.
But we'll be surprised, I feel like, by what they end up choosing to show us.
The show's been fantastic. I can't wait for the rest.
And hopefully we get cameos.
I don't care. Like
I really don't care.
It was a joke.
I know
This
we've
isn't
already
Marvel,
like
it was a
we've
joke.
already
Please.
touched on it.
Please stop talking about it. It was a joke.
Jacob,
Okay.
you're gonna get Gina
Please.
Carano'd.
Please! Please!
I'm not funny. Didn't laugh. But yeah, I think we've already
I'm bringing the
gotten
beans
on our
back.
Beat
soapbox
around the
and
show.
yeah, it's just
The beans.
we
back.
live in a world right now where it's the thing that you can click on. What's going to get the most clicks and the most likes? And it's funny because people are begging these organizations just to make the clickbait thing. That doesn't make a good show. Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett made sense.
Yep.
It's Boba Fett's rival. That's already been established in canon and other material in the Clone Wars and other things like that. So they're lifelong rivals. This makes sense to have him come back. Again, like with Luke Skywalker actually fits into the narrative of The Mandalorian. Cameos are awesome when they work. I don't want to just have cameos for absolutely no reason except for me to just go and then be done with it, you know? But like seeing Ahsoka in the Book of Boba Fett too.
Yeah.
That was a cameo that made sense.
Mm-hmm. It made me go.
Yeah, and it made you go.
It made
Yeah.
me go.
Okay.
But just don't be a loser.
Mm-hmm.
How about I feel like we should talk about the two special things on the side of the computer because it's
No.
their
No, I still have more.
Anniversary.
I still have more Kenobi stuff to say.
why.
Because
Go ahead and say it.
Well, because there was a leaked behind the scenes footage of the Jedi versus clone troopers in the Jedi Temple. And
I didn't watch that.
and
I didn't see that.
So
I
people
saw
are
your
saying
thing,
it's
too.
leaked footage, but I have a couple of things that make me think it's not real because one, we see it looks really good, but it's recorded on a blue screen, and we haven't seen blue screens used in Star Wars for quite a while.
Why would they not use the volume?
Yeah, so that
Yeah. So
that's
people
not
watch
that's
it.
my own, but then again, we get moving shots throughout a giant CG space that might have been harder to do on the volume, especially going from the training area into a hallway, out to a hallway, and onto that bridge. That might have been too hard to do for the volume, so it would make sense if it was a blue screen, and then
Right.
also back up the fact that I thought that the whole set didn't look too real, and the fact that it didn't.
And the
think
set
it looked
definitely
CG.
was not real.
I know. I'm just saying it would
Yeah.
back up my claim of thinking it was like really CG. But no, it's up on YouTube. I've seen it on TikTok. I sent it to you guys earlier today, but I guess neither of you looked
No,
at
I
it.
don't
didn't
have
have a chance
time.
to look at it.
But yeah, it looked really cool. They were using spark squibs on the clone troopers for the saber hits at some point, so it looked really good. So yeah, that's just all over YouTube right now if you want to check it out. That's my last thing I had to say about Kenobi.
Hey, by the way, guys, as of recording this, the shirts were shipped out today.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're gonna get your emails if you bought a shirt. You're gonna get a confirmation email with your tracking number.
And you're gonna find a little extra goodie in your envelope.
Maybe some extra goodies in your package.
Maybe some socks. Maybe some clippers.
Maybe some toenails.
Maybe some hairs.
You
Maybe
might-
some cake.
definitely. Might.
Definitely not Jacob's toenails. Them,
Nope.
them suckers have not been clipped in a
Nope.
long time.
You know what was funny is I actually clipped them like 4 days ago. They just,
That's cap.
no, they just grow mega fast.
Nah.
That
That's
is
gotta be
not.
cap.
That is
That's
tremendously
got to be
cap.
astronomically incorrect.
No, I'm being
No.
dead ass. I'm being dead ass.
Dude, then your toenails are peeling themselves off your feet.
All right,
There's
let's
no
talk
way.
about the
I
special
got
birthday.
I got the sonic growths.
All right, Jackson, tell us about
So,
this special
as of
anniversary.
recording this, it has been 1 year since Anton Merrick and Galen Erso have been available for pre-order at Target, and they have not been shipped out.
Except
Yak
for us.
Face cooked a cake today. So if you saw Yak's post on the day that we were recording this, happy birthday to these two figures for its 1 year. But we were able to secure this through Nerdzoic.
Yeah.
If you have not already, if these are still available and you really want them,
they're not.
they're not. Whoops. They might become
well.
available again.
Just hope your pre-orders come from Target.
Which I think is absolutely ludicrous. We almost waited an entire year for the
And
212.
they're not even like super cool figures that I've been waiting on. I
Yeah,
don't
these are
understand.
generic figures.
These retailers, seriously, specifically Target and Walmart, they need to just get it together. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. And nothing's going to change because they make their money. So nothing's going to happen ever.
Yep.
And I'm done, like, beating the bush.
They're also
on-
not toy stores,
beating
so
a
they
dead
don't
horse.
really care about toys.
They don't care, and they're never gonna. So, like, I don't know why we sit here and complain about it, but
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a little bit funny that it's its birthday. 1 year. Whee! Tommy, do you want to talk about your special figure you just got?
yeah, so we're gonna talk about do some pickups, and yeah, but
Yeah.
I finally Amazon sent me my Book of Boba Fett Boba Fett Black Series figure, and let me just tell you, I love this figure.
It's really nice.
It's awesome. I think he looks very good. He's very cool, very nice. If you want to see a review on this guy, you can check out the review that Jackson did.
Yeah.
It's
I
awesome.
really don't like how the jetpack comes off too easy.
It
but-
doesn't come off if you push in the top pegs.
Mhm.
It doesn't. It's not as easy to fall off.
Okay, that's
but like
good then.
if you just push in like just the bottom peg, it's gonna fall right off.
Fair enough.
So yeah, if you just make sure the top pegs are in there, he's not going in.
The figure has great detail.
He's great. I
will
love
recommend
him,
it.
and I am stoked to put him on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And if you saw the one pickup that I have for this week displayed in the center, ta-da! I got the Django hot toy. Finally came in. I'm super
Looks
excited
so
about
good,
it.
dude.
The details outstanding. I'm in love with it. I just keep reposing and playing with it anytime I get. There should be a review for this. If it did not come out already, it could be out soon.
It'll be out already.
It'll be out alright.
It'll
All
be
right, so
out.
check that out if you would like.
Mm-hmm.
Did a whole synopsis of what it comes with, what I did with it, just talking about the figure in general. Super duper happy to have our second Hot Toys review on the channel, and we will have more soon when Tommy gets his boba.
That's not until like November, dude.
That's not till November.
Yeah.
So not very soon.
Well, you'll
Not
get my
very
Hunter one when I come back, because it'll arrive when I'm gone,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
and I'll be opening that Jonah will be like.
No.
Dude.
I mean, I did pay.
That'd be
for
the
it.
lowest.
I paid for
What?
the rest of it.
It's a gift.
It's
I
a
know.
gift.
I know, but
That would be the absolute lowest blow.
Yes, Jacob, that's low.
boom. Hey, we need content. We need content.
It can
Anyway,
wait.
there's also some Lego news. We skipped right into the pickups, but with the Obi-Wan Wednesday, we had
I can't. If you actually do that, I'm quitting.
Do you think I'm actually gonna open it up? I'm not stupid, Tommy. Oh my goodness! I'm like, no, I'm gonna take it.
Jacob, stop taking its head off.
You need to pop that Joan on better. But,
Yeah, you need to take it off the stand and do that. I'm not doing that right now.
But we got probably the worst Lego set I've seen in recent history to be released. Not released, announced on Wednesday. It's a set for Kenobi. It's Obi-Wan versus Vader and the last episode. But it's literally a mound of gray bricks, and then you get like a little thing that dumps some transparent red ones. So, ooh, it's the fire. And then you get a little tumbly thing in the background, and then you got like two platforms that turn. That is this, and it's $50.
The execution, good.
No,
like the
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 execution
idea
terrible.
of the terrain.
The idea nice. The execution awful. Don't make a mound $50. That's the nice thing, that because the dual sets that Lego puts out are meant for kids. They have playability. They're small. They come with minifigures of 2 characters, and that's what they're supposed to be. Don't make a giant mound of bricks that's basically just a plate. You basically made a plate and then said, yeah, pay $50 for it. That's just, it's so dumb. That's so dumb. This is the only time I'm ever I feel like this might be the only time I'm ever gonna get like why? Like, who thought this was a good idea? Like, include something else. Save something for the last episode of Kenobi. Or just, I don't know, don't put out the set until you get a good idea. Because that's what they did with the Bad Batch. We didn't have the Marauder until like, halfway through the first season? And then it was a pre-order too. It didn't even come out.
You done?
So, I think it was an absolutely horrid Lego set. And I'm definitely not going to be picking it up.
I think it's fine. The mound, the idea of that's fine with me. It would be a whole lot better in my opinion. Again, like Jacob said, if it wasn't $50.
But then again,
But
you
the
are
fact
not
that
a
they
Lego
made terrain,
collector.
that's cool. I'm cool with that. It's not a flat piece. It's cool terrain.
It's-
But it's $50. So I'm like,
I
there
would-
is price ups in Lego, so it makes sense in my opinion.
I would
It's 50.
I would argue against it not being terrain because it literally it's just a mound. It goes up and then it flattens at the top. There's no like discerning, like maybe like the back edge is raised, but it's not like there's like hills or anything. It doesn't look like, because if you look at
Because
people's
it's meant to
Lego
be tiny.
if you look at people's Lego mocks,
But it's not a mock.
let me speak. Dang it.
It's a kid's thing.
Oh my gosh, shut up. All you've done is cut me off this whole episode. So if you had parts where it was raised and lowered and you added detail into that flat part, I would understand as to why it's $50. But the fact that it literally gets raised up and then flattens out, it doesn't make sense to me. So I think it's a bad set, and I will not be picking it up.
It is what
And
it
to
is.
those who do, just for the minifigures, go you, because that Lego yellow robot will probably
Ned B.
Ned B will not be used in
B.
another set, and he will probably go up in price after that set retires.
Ned B.
So Yeah, that's all I think.
I don't understand. I don't know. I've never understood buying something solely for the reason that you know it's going to go up in value. I buy things because I want to enjoy them for myself.
Exactly.
I don't buy things just to think about, oh, this will be worth a pretty penny one
Perfect
day.
idea. I like what I'm hearing.
Huh?
Personally, I wouldn't have that.
Personally, if that were me, I wouldn't be taking that. I'd go over to Lego and give them a piece of mind. But that's just me. Personally, I wouldn't be taking that.
Personally, I'd go to Denmark and I would take the L off the Lego sign and hand it to the CEO of Lego and say, here is your L.
I'm going to go to Denmark and invade. Give them a little reminder of the past. And with that, that is all for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed.
What?
I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. Let us know what you thought of the newest episode of Kenobi, whether you thought it was mid or you thought it was fire.
It's good.
Mid or fire.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Coming to another stream near you. Maybe. I don't know. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Support us on Patreon. If you want to get that Ahsoka figure, make sure you're in the Gungan Boss tier.
Yeah.
And to those who did order a shirt, once again, probably after this, we're going to be sending you your tracking numbers.
Thank you for your patience.
Yes, thank you for your patience. We're trying to get them to you ASAP. They were shipped, and then we did get an about time of like, what was it?
For the international people, it was 6 to 10 days.
6 to 10 business days, and then 5 to 8 nationally. So you should be getting it soon. So
we're excited. Send us pictures.
Yeah, in the Discord. In the Discord. Make sure that you're in the Discord.
Can we also say if
make sure your toes are in the picture?
Yes.
If people take pictures in the shirts, can we post a compilation of them on social media?
Sure.
I feel like that would be cool.
If you want us to post it, make sure you specify it.
The lady shout out to the lady at the post office, by the way.
Yeah, her boyfriend's a 501st member.
Oh,
yeah,
sick.
and he's doing he's working on a Black Chrysanthemum costume right now. But he has a Death Trooper, a Biker Scout, and she told me one more.
It was just those two. And then
Is he
in the local garrison?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't he the Death Trooper in all the promo photos with the green?
Probably.
Oh, no, maybe.
That's pretty, because I only think there's one. That's still really cool, though.
Oh, well.
It's cool, yeah.
But thank you all for watching today's episode.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see ya. Woo!
2 more Kenobis.
Goodbye.
Woo!
Dun 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 hum da da hum da da hum dum dum da hum da da hum da da dum dum da dum da ba ba dum ba do ba dum ba do ba dum ba ba dum ba dum ba do ba dum ba do ba dum dum hum da dum hum da da hum dum 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 da dum hum da da hum dum dum hey I'm da dum 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 hum da dum 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 dum